Yo, what's going on, guys? It's Glade here. Welcome back to another video. Today I'm going to be talking about my top 8 MSS match that I just had yesterday down in Golden, Colorado. And this match is pretty long. It's about a 40-minute match. So I'm going to maybe I'll play the whole thing, but I'm going to give my thought process about it because this was honestly one of the best matches that I've ever had in my life, and definitely one of the hardest matches. And I remember I was talking to my friend about, I made a tweet saying that Colorado locals are definitely some of the hardest locals I've been to, or the hardest locals I've been to. And I still stand by that, specifically because we don't have any huge names. We have one, but other than that, we don't have any huge names at our locals, but everyone is still such a solid player that I really feel like they all have the potential to day to a regional and do well. It is very tough. You know, there are a lot of extremely solid players, and it makes it so every round it doesn't feel like it doesn't feel free. Wins don't feel free. It feels like you really have to work for your wins. And so in Swiss, I went 5-0. It was tough, but I managed to go 5-0. So then we get to top 8 in the cut, and I faced Enrique Grimaldo. For those of you who don't know who Enrique Grimaldo is, he was able to get 5th in the Players' Cup and is able to, I think he got top 32 at NEIC in 2023, and it has a myriad of other pretty good regional placements. So I was definitely a bit nervous going into the match because Enrique definitely was the scariest player for me to match up into. But I am using Ryan Lozetto's or Sable IBTC's Warring Moon Balance Tailwind team. I thought it was the most consistent. I was testing it on ladder and I really enjoyed it. So I decided to bring it today. And one of my friends, Joe, he also brought this team. And when he faced Enrique in Swiss, Joe was able to beat him 2-0. So I figured, well, this matchup shouldn't be that bad. But what I didn't realize is Enrique needed that time in order to figure out his game plan into this team. And once he did, this was said to be one of the most difficult matches of my life. I won this by the skin of my teeth. It was insane. I honestly didn't think I had the capabilities of pulling this off, and there is luck in the battle. You will see there is some luck, and I think I did get a little bit luckier than he did overall. But at the same time, excuse me, I'm a bit tired. We take those because I needed that. But let's get into it. There is commentary, but I just have commentary muted and I just have video playing over this. But basically, this match was interesting because, you know, it was my first time cutting in MSS in Colorado, and I really, really wanted to progress further because I really wanted points. Because now I'm sitting at over a third of my invite right now, and I'm really trying to go for Worlds. So this year I was taking it super seriously. I was trying to prep. I was trying to play the best that I could. But this match put me over the edge, man. This was definitely one of the hardest matches. And you're going to see my brilliant nicknames here in a second. Alright, so obviously I have the greeting profile picture. Shoutouts to Psych to VGC. Let's go. And you're going to see the brilliant nicknames here that only a mastermind would use. See, as you see, I'm rocking MF Doom, Amish Thug, Ooh Nuzzles, Rar XD, Crip Mac, and Clara Acoy. Now, if you don't know who Crip Mac is, you gotta learn. Look up Crip Mac on YouTube. He's cool. MF Doom, cool rapper. Amish Thug. I don't know. I've been on the Amish nicknaming scheme lately, so I need to include that. Ooh, Nuzzles and Roar XD for, you know, the weird cringe factor. And Clara Coy from Gleipnir. So, nicknames. But you can see my team. Yeah, it's standard balance stuff. This is literally just Ryan's team. But Enrique Grimaldo is running. Enrique's running a really interesting team. He's running Iron Hands, Chi Yu, Salamence, Futtermain, Amoongus, Golden Go. And if you're looking at the team, the matchup is actually pretty bad for me. I have to play very linearly. Because here's the thing, Chi Yu matches up really well into my team. My only Chi Yu answers are going to be, are going to be the Arcanine and are going to be the Urshifu. But I can't really bring Urshifu because Amoongus is good into my team, so Urshifu isn't an option. So I have to position with Arcanine. But the issue is Chi Yu has defensive Terra. He has counterplay, a lot of counterplay. He has Intimidate with Salamence. And he can position Golden Go well. And as you'll see during this match, Enrique positions extremely well to the point where I can't position, I cannot position Arcanine in a way where it can beat Chi Yu. he never let me do that, so that made it extremely tough. So really my only answer into Chi-Yu was the Arcanine and the Urshifu if I needed to bring it. I guess you could also say Iron Hands, but Iron Hands is only a counter if Chi-Yu is chipped down and if I'm not intimidated, and yeah, if Iron Hands itself is not chipped down, because the Chi-Yu is actually a safety goggle, so it's not like Choice Specs or Life Orb, but still overheats and overheat, and it's going to be doing over 50% to Iron Hands, so I have to keep Iron Hands healthy. So the matchup plays very linearly because the Chi-Yu is a huge problem. Golden Go isn't that big of an issue, but it can get out of hand. The huge issue for me is Salamence, because I don't have a direct way to beat it. Because I could lead Arcanine, but then Arcanine, you know, I could launch a Rock Slide, but, you know, let's say they lead Salamence, Iron Hands, I'm locked into Rock Slide, okay, they get up Tailwind, I Rock Slide Salamence for 60%, then Iron Hands Drain Punches me back for like 90%, then I lose Arcanine there for a little bit of damage on Salamence, and then I don't have my Chi-Yu check, so immediately I can't lead Arcanine. I'm forced to have to respect the Salamence. Golden Go is a good way to beat Salamence, but the issue is that one offensive switch into Chi-Yu, while I have Golden Go on the field and I just go for a Make It Rain, and if he protects Salamence, then he has Chi-Yu on the field for free next turn, and that puts me in such a bad position because I'm forced to bring in Arcanine. If he predicts that, he can Dark Pulse, and even if I do bring in Arcanine, I'm forced to either call that he protect, like he could honestly protect a Chi-Yu, go back into Iron Hands, he could switch out Chi-Yu into Iron Hands again. So really, it's a game of cat and mouse, and I'm put in a position. I really should have my mouse on there. I'm put in a position where I really can't. Like, I looked at this matchup and I realized that this is going to be a slow-paced game because I cannot. Like, I won't be able to play this game fast-paced at all because there's no way to. If you try to play this game fast-paced, you're going to instantly lose. That was this type of matchup. So I knew this was going to be a long, drawn-out game of positioning because that was the only way I could play it. Because there was no reliable way for me to remove his pieces because he just had such defensive counterplay to my pieces to where, like, and there was nothing I could do. The only thing would be maybe trying to position Urshifu, but you position Urshifu, he has Special Salamence that outspeeds, that can just go for an Air Slash or a Draco Meteor. He has Iron Hands that can just goob it, and the potential Amoonguss, which I was trying to account for Amoonguss, because Golden Go does look solid into my team, because, like, yeah, you take on the arc, or you take on the hands, sort of, and, like, yeah, my Golden Go could be an issue. But I was thinking that he might bring Amoonguss just so that my other Pokemon aren't a threat. So really, I didn't want to bring the Amoonguss here. So that's kind of my thought process going into the game. I knew looking at this match that it was going to be tough. And I was talking to Joe beforehand, and Joe told me that, like, Joe told me beforehand that your lead is going to be Roaring Moon, Iron Hands with Golden Go and Arcanine in the back. You could bring Amoonguss, but Amoonguss is such a huge risk. I believe that's what he told me. And so this made the game really, really linear because I am forced to set up Tailwind because a lot of our Pokemon are in the same speed tier, and Tailwind is of utmost importance in this match. If you don't have Tailwind up, if you cannot stall the opponent's Tailwind and reposition your Tailwind, you're going to lose. Like, there's just no way around it. Like, you lose if you don't do that. So this made it very linear in the sense that both of us pretty much had to get up Tailwind in the matchup. There was no, like, way around it. And, like, there would be no better lead for me. I always have to lead Roaring Moon because I always had to get up Tailwind. I have Breaking Swipe Pressure. The path was very linear for me. Which is what made this game very difficult because I feel like I did not have a good matchup to begin with anyways, and I was forced to play very linear, which definitely made the matchup not favorable. I'd say personally, I'd say this is a 20-80 matchup. I'd say it's less. I'd say it's like a 15-85 matchup personally in terms of if I come out on top. This matchup is really bad, in my opinion. I do think though that Urshifu is a puzzle piece that I need to recognize. But I don't do it here because I just go for the safe lead. We're going to see here. I select Roaring Moon, Iron Hands. I don't know if there's a way I can skip like 10 seconds. Oh yeah, I can. Okay, it's just the mouse, or it's just the arrow button. Cool. So I select Roaring Moon, Iron Hands, Arcanine, and Golden Go. I am really scared to bring Urshi because if I bring Urshi into Amoonguss, I just auto lose the game. And Amoonguss is really good to my team because really the only thing I have to hit Amoonguss is the Arcanine. Arcanine can be dealt with. So really, I feel like my opponent could just bring Amoonguss. I think Enrique could easily bring Amoonguss and it would put me in a bad spot. So I wasn't tempted to bring Urshifu at all, even though Urshifu matches up to his team decently well. It still takes a lot of pressure. So we're going to see here. Yeah, yeah, we're going to see a Stylman's Iron Hands lead and a Rory Moon Iron Hands lead for myself. Like I said, Intimidate is very, very... Tailwind is very important in this match. So here, it's really interesting because I'm kind of forced to Terror Rory Moon for the most part because he has Draco Meteor on his Stylman's, so I don't want to get one shot by Draco Meteor. And I'm really fast Iron Hands, so I'm pretty confident that I can get Fake Out off. So basically, the idea is if his Iron Hands is faster... I forget this play. But I'm pretty sure I just Tailwind and yeah, Terror, Tailwind, and Fake Out. He does switch out Iron Hands into the Golden Go. Or into Golden Go, which is a good play. It's a really good play because maybe he's expecting to Fake Out in that slot. And there's no reason for him not to he shouldn't protect Salmons here because here's the thing, Salmons is a Rocky Helmet. So if I go for Fake Out, I'm going to be chipped by the Rocky Helmet a bit, which chip on the Iron Hands matters because Iron Hands health is very, very important in this matchup. But I still have to Fake Out because I want the Tailwind early. But still, the chip is very important. And at this point, Iron Hands is already getting a bit low, so I do have to conserve its health, or else it will be within range of an overheat. I get on my Tailwind just to kind of get the pace of the game going. But here, I'm kind of at a stalemate where I could go for the knockoff, but it's not going to do too much. Gold's probably going to protect. I can see a gold protecting, so I decide to protect my Salamence here, or my Rory Moon here, just because I feel like he might want to Draco Meteor, or I might be under threat for an attack, and I figured, okay, if I can get an Arcanine here, then I can pressure the Golden Go, and then I can go for knockoff next turn. I just wasn't so sure if Golden Go was going to protect and he was going to Draco Meteor, because if so, I don't want to take that damage. We do see he withdraws Salamence. I do believe he protects Golden Go this turn. He's going to go into Iron Hands here. He's playing it very defensive. We're both playing it defensive because that's how this game is meant to be played. So I'm going to protect here. Facts. He's going to protect here. Okay, cool. So we baited the protect out. But now here's an issue. He can go for Fake Out and Make It Rain, which is kind of annoying. Make It Rain's pretty free for him, so I feel like I'm forced to switch out. Realistically, I think I should have switched out to Golden Go, to be honest. I don't think if I went Iron Hands, I think that's a mistake. Because I really need. Yeah, let me mute, turn off all notifications. Let's go. Okay. Yeah, I really need to keep my. Rory Moon should not stay in here, I don't think. I do go Breaking Sword, which I don't agree with personally. This I don't agree with, personally. But I'm thinking, okay, you Fake Out, Make It Ring. I don't want to take that damage with Arcanine, because I want to keep Arcanine healthy. So at the same time, I understand this play. I protected last turn. So I think this makes sense because I'm trying to make it so the Iron Hands isn't doing that much damage. We do see he withdraws Golden Go, so it actually worked out for me because I thought he was going to Make It Rain, but he goes back into Salamence, so now I am able to get decent damage off on Salamence. I do take Rocky Helmet Chip, which is unfortunate, but I bring the Iron Hands importantly to -1, which is definitely really good for the tournament. So I go for the Break Swipe here. It's going to do a bit of damage to Salamence, which helps because they might be within Make It Rain range if Chi-Yu comes in. So that's nice. And then Iron Hands goes for the Drain Punch into the Golden Go, which is really nice. Because it was very, I did not want to stand with Arcanine because I really valued Arcanine there. Like if I were to Flare Blitz, even at -1 with the Flare Blitz recoil damage off of a Choice Band, I might have died to a Drain Punch. So I have to play this very, very cautiously. So he's going to withdraw Iron Hands because Iron Hands isn't as threatening right now. And he's going to go Chi-Yu here. Now I don't think I make a great play here. I go for Nasty Plot, which realistically I should have gone, like this turn, to me, this turn should have been Breaking Swipe, or this turn should have been Knockoff plus Make It Rain. Because if I went for Make It Rain, Salamence probably would have dropped. And I probably would have instantly won the match here. So I don't know why he brought in Chi-Yu there. Or I could have Shadow Balled too. But I think it might have lived. Salamence might have lived from that range. I'm not so sure. But I think, yeah, I don't really like the play because then it forces me to play a lot of mind games. So if I get rid of the Salamence right now, I'm in such a better spot. But then he could have access to, I guess, like maybe he doesn't put me in a good spot because then he has Golden Go out the gate, which Golden Go can be very annoying. But then I have Arcanine. Like I feel like if I denied him Tailwind there, I would have been in a better spot. But he does go for Draco Meteor into my Arcanine. It's going to do a lot of damage. I had to switch out because I want to conserve my Tailwind. So like while what I will say is, while I think this is one of the best games I've ever played, I do, like, in hindsight, I do think there are some mistakes. The nasty plot turn especially, I think I was a bit too greedy with the nasty plot. There wasn't any reason. I just needed immediate damage out on the board, considering that Chiyu could come in and circumvent any damage. I think Enrique perfectly capitalized off of me trying to be a bit greedy and go for nasty plot to get better positioning. And it really cost me. I think Make It Rain, I'm not going to count because I don't know the Salmon spread. And I do believe, I think it would have lived, honestly. I think Salmons would have lived to Make It Rain. Because I am not, where's the team? I am not offensive Golden Go. Like, at level 50, I'm hitting 173. Oh, it's 173, dude. Yeah, I think that's killing Mens. That's 100% killing Mens. So I think that was a mistake on my part, personally. Yeah. I think that was a huge mistake. I definitely should have done that. So like even still, like, even while this is the best play game that I've done, like, you see Make It Rain there at +2 is going to kill, but it is spread damage. It did crit the Salmons. I'm not so sure about the Salmons' EVs, but I'm assuming it is maybe a bit Spadef. We'll see. But it does take nothing from attack, so it is telling me that is kind of physically bulky, but I do wish I could have Make It Rained on that turn, because if I picked up the knockout, I would have been at -1 though. That's the issue. And then I still think I would have been in a better position though. But anyways, he's going to send out his Golden Go. So now he's Golden Go Chiyo on the field, which is really annoying for me. And he is Tailwind up, which is insanely annoying for me. I do have Roaring Moon in though, but I had to make this insane call because I'm thinking that he thinks that I'm going to protect Golden Go, because if Golden Go drops, I instantly lose the game. So I protect my Roaring Moon, predicting him to double into my Roaring Moon, expecting me to protect. If this turn went wrong, I immediately lost the game, which is why I think I should have Make It Rain last turn. In hindsight. Because at this point, I'm on the back foot right now. I don't really have a lot of ways to deal with this. Chiyu's really a threat, but I do go for the protect, and luckily I do get the insane call right. He does double into the Roy Moon, which is absolutely fantastic for me. So, because I think, like, now I'm thinking, oh shit, I get the KO on Golden Go. This is fucking lit because of Beads of Ruin into the Golden Go. Yeah. Although, does Beads of Ruin affect Golden Go? Because let's see. Golden Go's gold is immune to status moves, so it's not immune to abilities. So yeah, he has the Beads of Ruin up, and he lives, and that's really bad. As soon as I saw the live, I thought I was over. I thought the game was done. I thought it was curtains, because I cannot come back from that. I needed to pick up that kill. The fact that I didn't pick up that kill is really, really bad. So I was like, shit. Yeah, that was really bad. Which I'm curious because wait, I Make It Rained. I nasty plotted. I made it rain. Was I plus? I was +2 because I went for nasty plot. I'm really curious how this turn went down because I was nasty plot. Yeah. No. Because he sent on his Golden Go. I sent a Roar, but I took the kill on Salamence. Wait. So Roarmian comes back. Hold on. How does this turn go down? Tailwind peters out, but I nasty plot. So I'm +2 right now. Because I didn't Make It Rain next turn, right? Because let's see. Did I Make It Rain? Clara comes back. I go MF Doom. He goes Salamence. I click nasty plot on that turn. He goes Salamence, right? I believe so. I breaking swipe here. Okay, so I'm neutral right now. Yeah, I'm neutral right now. He drain punches, cool, into MF Doom. So that was a really good switch on my part. So now he's gonna withdraw hands. He goes Chiyu. I go for knockoff into the Chiyu. Currently, now I'm +2. I'm +2 now. So now I'm +2. When I go for the nasty plot. So after the Make It Rain, I am +1. So a +1 Shadow Ball into Beads of Ruin Gold does not kill, which means it was an extreme low roll. Because I don't care how bulky of a gold you are, that should kill. Because Chiyu, he fires the Draco off. Okay, cool. Arcanine lives. Thank God. Let's go Arcanine. I don't know what my spread is, but I'm mostly offensive here. So I'm really surprised that I lived that. Yeah, I'm no bulk. So, yeah, that was insane. Okay, but Snarl goes to, oh, he did Snarl me back to neutral. So that's why. So I would have been neutral that turn still. So he did snarl, so I'm at neutral. So that's what it was. I was at neutral. That's insane though. The fact that I wasn't able to pick up the knockout, which, you know, good on him for identifying the spread and calculating that. Because that failed to kill, this puts me in an insane bad spot. So I don't even think that turn was that bad, because in the sense, like, I nasty plotted on the turn that he went for snarl. So I feel like if I just took the kill, then I would have been in a good spot. So I agree with my play. I feel like in hindsight, Make It Rain would have been better immediately, but the fact that he lived the Shadow Ball is insane to me. I was expecting Shadow Ball to kill, because normally Shadow Ball does around like 80% to Golden Go. So like 75-80% to Golden Go. So I was thinking that with Beads of Ruin, I would easily be able to pick up the knockout. Maybe I got an extreme low roll, or maybe he's calced to live that. I do not know. He is Citrus Berry, so I'm assuming he's calced to live that, but that was really bad for me. So now I'm forced to position, now I'm forced to switch out, because I think I protected, and I still need Tailwind up. He has one turn left of Tailwind, but the good news is that he cannot set up Tailwind, because Salamence is down, which means that if I can set up Tailwind, I have the speed control for the rest of the game. But I'm going to need to switch out here, because I am immediately pressured. I think I went for Protect last turn. Or I decided to, I did decide to switch to Iron Hands, and I decided to Protect. I decided to play it safe. I figured, okay, and then I can get Fake Out next turn. And I need Salamence in the back, because he still has Iron Hands left. And Iron Hands, yeah, like Wild Charge is going to be doing a bit, but at -1, when I can Breaking Swipe for some decent chip damage plus Wild Charge chip, I needed to conserve Salamence. Realistically here, I think I should have, I did go for Snarl. Let's see if he Shadow Balls into the, into the Roaring Moon. I really think that I should have stayed in, but at the same time, I think I definitely would have dropped, to the Shadow Ball combination. I am bulky Ments, I am bulky Roaring Moon, but I do not have Spadef EVs. I only have defense EVs, so I really think Snarl combination would have brought me extremely low. So maybe I should have. Maybe the play there was to, now that I'm thinking about it, so he is Hands in the back, Chi-Yu, Golden Go. So maybe the play was to stay in and go for, and just go for knockoff into the Golden Go. But here's the thing, Chi-Yu can go for overheat that turn. Chi-Yu can overheat into Ments for huge damage, and then switch out to Iron Hands. So I didn't know if it was worth it, because I could have easily lost my Roaring Moon that turn, and I needed Roaring Moon to set up for speed control. So here I decided to Drain Punch and Shadow Ball the Golden Go. Reason being is because, so this might seem odd, but the reason being is because if he switched out Chi-Yu into Hands, number one, I had to call that he was not protecting this turn. I was calling that he was going to protect Chi-Yu, but I was also calling that he was not going to protect Gold. So the idea was, I thought he was going to either protect Chi-Yu and Terra Gold, or switch out Chi-Yu into Hands and Terra. So I was thinking, okay, well, if Shadow Ball doesn't kill, because Shadow Ball's a neutral, and based upon how much it did, it might be a roll still. I have no clue. I'm assuming Shadow Ball would kill from that range, but I can't be positive because of the Beads of Ruin and the super effective damage. So I was like, well, I don't want to Make It Rain here, so I'm going to Shadow Ball into the Gold. And if that doesn't pick up the KO, I think it should. I think it should pick up the KO. The only reason it wouldn't pick up the KO is if they Terra. If they Terra, then it might not pick up the KO, and then I can Drain Punch to pick up the knockout. But let's say they didn't protect Chi-Yu for some reason, and I Shadow Ball into the Gold, it knocks out, and then I Drain Punch gets redirected into the Gold. Or they switch out Chi-Yu into the Iron Hands, and then I kill the Golden Go with Shadow Ball, and then Drain Punch gets redirected into the Iron Hands. So instead of taking damage, instead of not dealing damage with Wild Charge and actually taking some chip, I am able to deal some decent damage to Iron Hands and able to recover some health back. There were some risk involved with that, but I feel like that was the most optimal play from my end. So we're going to see him go Iron Hands here. It's a good play. And also the thing is that, like, I don't know what my thinking was. Why did I want to conserve Roaring Moon? I think I wanted to conserve Roaring Moon because I needed speed control, because I felt like Iron Hands plus Iron Hands was too useful, and I knew Iron Hands could live the turn. And Iron Hands under Tailwind dealt with his team. So what I needed to do was get myself into a position where I could outspeed the Chi Yu, because the Chi Yu is still sitting comfortably, and I realized that I need to conserve. Yeah, I think this was the reasoning. Because the Chi Yu is still healthy. Like, how much health is the Chi Yu at? Let's see. Yeah, the Chi Yu is still pretty healthy, which means that the only way for me to kill it is with a wild charge, which I'm taking chip damage. I'm taking recoil in there. If he tear a ghost, I don't think I kill if he's bulky. Depending on what he is, he can fake out. So the idea is that Chi Yu is going to be very annoying for the team to deal with, so I have to get myself into a position where I can have Roaring Moon instead of Tailwind. But maybe I should have kept my Iron Hands healthy instead, and maybe I should have went for the knockoff into the Golden Go, got rid of the Golden Go. Yeah, I'm trying to think, if I knocked off into the Golden Go, which it might not have mattered because Snarl comes out, he is Tailwind up, I don't. That's the thing. So he's Tailwind up. My Roaring Moon is, let's see how much health my Roaring Moon was. I think it was at 183. It was at 153, which I think means I probably dropped to a Shadow Ball. I'm not so sure. I think I might live. I definitely probably live that. But it really depends. It really does depend, and I didn't want to take the risk because I felt like he could easily just double the Roaring Moon. I protected last turn, so I feel like I need to switch out. I don't know. Maybe I should have kept it in. I feel like it was a weird play to make. Anyways, he's gonna Shadow Ball. Wait, so I'm at let's see what health I'm at on Iron Hands. I think I'm at 211 with Iron Hands, or like 199 or something like that. Which is important. Like, that is a significant number. Yeah, 198. So I do go down to 111, which is huge. But I think having the health on Roaring Moon is more important. So he's going to switch on to Iron Hands. I'm going to. One cool thing to know is that outside of Tailwind, my Golden Go is faster than his. So I'm able to pick up the knockout on his Golden Go, which is nice. Really, really nice. And then I'm able to go for the Drain Punch and get some recovery back. And like, that's some good damage. I'm going to probably be at like 130, 140, 130, 140. Okay, 140 health. So I'm getting some recovery back. I feel like at the end of the day, that was a better position because he does have access to Fake Out, but I don't feel as pressured because I have another Mon in the back. I got rid of his gold. He has Chi Yu now, so I don't feel too pressured here. I mean, still, it's not the best position in the world, but it's not horrible. Beats of Rune's also active, which means my Shadow Ball is going to be doing a bit more. I don't want to switch out here. I think I should have switched out in hindsight. Realistically, what I should have done was I should have switched out Iron Hands into Roaring Moon. Yeah. This was a bad play in my opinion. But basically, no, I guess it wasn't a bad play because he could Drain Punch. But we see the Chi Yu protect because he's trying to bait. He's trying to bait me. So he realizes that, like, well, what if he tries to Drain Punch into the Chi Yu? Then instead of doing that, I can get free Fake Out, damage off or whatever. Realistically, though, I think it would have been better for me to honestly. I think I would have gotten more value out of the turn had I just gone Roaring Moon, because let's say he overheats into Roaring Moon, which would be likely. Then I'm going to probably fall to the damage, but at the very least Chi Yu will be -2, which means then Iron Hands will be able to pick up the game because his Iron Hands is already kind of low. If we can see here, hold on, what health is his Iron Hands at? I can't really determine. So his Iron Hands is pretty low, and I know my Iron Hands is faster. So I think in that position, I should have switched out to Roaring Moon. I'm not going to lie. I think in that position, I definitely should have switched out to Roaring Moon. Yeah, because the thing is, if he goes for Fake Out Overheat, which I think is okay, because then that means that Chi Yu's not doing enough damage, and I can, yeah, I think that's okay, though. Yeah, if Chi Yu doesn't go for Overheat, I think I'm still in a good position. So I think realistically, I think this was still an okay play. But I do think I should have gone out to Roaring Moon, because Drain Punch is doing too much there, and now I'm in range. But I look at it this way. I was at 140. Chi Yu Overheat's going to kill. If I come back in, I guess maybe what I'm thinking is I probably died to an Overheat here. So what if he can just Fake Out Overheat me, which is fine, but he goes to -2. I don't want to switch into Roaring Moon because Fake Out Overheat into that. It's pretty bad. He can Terra, Drain Punch. I don't know if Wild Charge kills at that point. I have to call the Terra. He can Protect. He can Drain Punch me. I think I'd rather have Roaring Moon. So it really just depends on how I was looking at the matchup. I think either way was okay depending on how I wanted to play it. But this game is actually incredible. It definitely was a lot of mind games. Definitely was a lot of decision making. So right here I'm thinking, okay, this is pretty bad. But if he wants to knock me out, he's forced to go for Overheat, right? He's forced to go -2 on Chi-Yu. So I decided to switch in to Roaring Moon for Golden Go, which I think is a good play. Hold on. Why did I do that? Okay, so I understand all of my plays this game. I understand the nasty plot play. That was a little bit finicky, but I understand that play. Why this? Why did I switch out to Roaring Moon here? I don't quite understand that. Maybe because I was feeling threatened from Dark Pulse, but no, I always keep Roaring Moon healthy. I always go for Shadow Ball onto Iron Hands to get chip damage off. That was a mistake on my part. I do luckily avoid the Overheat, and I'm able to pick up the KO with Wild Charge. Nice. But I do think that he's going to go for Wild Charge. Yeah, so I think Endgame, I misplayed Endgame a lot. I definitely misplayed Endgame, but I was able to close it out. Hold on. He lands Overheat. He's -2. Wild Charge is that much. He's recoiled. I bring back in Golden Go. He's at -2. I can Breaking Swipe, Shadow Ball, Iron Hands. I probably lose. How did I screw up the end game? Because I feel like I was in a good position. I definitely should have conserved my Iron Hands. 100% should have conserved Iron Hands. I think what I should have done is I think I won that match because of the Overheat. 100%. I did not put myself in a good position. Now that I'm looking back over that, now that I'm really analyzing this, I don't think I played actually amazing. I should have kept him healthy. Iron Hands was key in this matchup. I should have kept him healthy. I shouldn't have switched him into that barrage. I do have to calc, actually, how much that was going to do, though. Like, how much was that going to do? Yeah, I actually want to put my set in, because I don't know his Golden Go set, and I'm actually curious about how much I would have taken. Because I really want to know. I really want to know whether I would have ate that or not. If I don't eat that, though, the Dark Pulse plus Shadow Ball, which I don't think I do, to be honest. I really don't think I do. Because here I am. Here's Roaring Moon. Let's see where I am. Okay. Aurora XD. I am level 50. I am sitting at 183. I'm sitting at 153, right? Yeah. I'm sitting at 153 health, I believe. So let me calc how much that did. Yeah, I'm sitting at 153. $153 into Chi-Yu, which is probably modest 148. If I'd have to guess. 148. He's not choice specs. He's gonna have Snarl. Okay. Snarl is doing 31% to Roaring Moon. And then Shadow Ball would definitely probably knock it out then, because we have it has to be Beads of Ruin on this side of the field though. Heavy Rain. Yeah, okay, there is Beads of Ruin. Wait. Does that stack? Okay, no, Beads of Ruin's already applied. So we have Golden Go, which I don't think he was offensive. I think he was probably modest, like 12 or something. No, he's probably like modest 36 or something like that. Let's just say he's modest 36, for example. We see the Shadow Ball coming out. And we put Beads of Ruin down. So the minimum, I'm going to be taking 62. I'm probably going to be taking like 57%, 70. So I would have lived. I would have lived through that turn. So I should have stayed in there, and I should have went for the knockoff into I should have stayed in. I should have went for the knockoff into the whatchamacallit, into the golden go. Yeah, that was my guaranteed win con. Okay, so I played that game well, but I fucked up the end game. I'm not even gonna cap. I definitely won that because of luck. All right, yeah. I definitely fucked up because of, yeah. Because I really could have yeah, that was my bad. I really think I had that game until I fucked up the end game. So I'm able to win that match. Just by being able to 1v1 the Iron Hands. But I really do understand how impactful that was. I really should have just sacked Rory Moon in that game. I don't know why I did not decide to sack it. So that really shows, like, I don't know. I'm playing really well, but I'm also making, like, that mistake probably cost me the game. So while I'm playing well, I need to understand to fully assess the situation, because I really needed to prioritize my health on my Iron Hands, and I neglected to do that, which definitely would have been the downfall of the game. Man, my throat hurts. Definitely could have been really bad though, but I think overall I played well. But that last turn, yeah, that last turn was bad. Yeah, I definitely should have conserved Roy Moon though. I needed Roy Moon to knock out Golden Go that turn. I would have lived the Shadow Ball 100%, because if he's modest 36, I'm assuming that his golden, or that my Golden Go is also like Shadow Ball into Beads of Ruin. That's interesting. So he's a really bulky Golden Go though, that's the thing. So he's like 172 or something like that. And I am only modest 36. So let's calc this real quick. Modest 36. Okay, so yeah, he is like really bulky, like 84 maybe. Okay, so then it's a roll. If he's bulky, it's a roll. But he can still have that bulk because he's not fast Golden Go at all. So yeah, he can still have that bulk, and I can outspeed him. But yeah, he's like modest 36. I should have stayed in with gold. I made this video thinking, wow, I put this game really well, but now I'm finding there are a lot of mistakes in the gameplay. But that's all the process of learning. Okay, he's gonna watch us my Roaring Moon. Cool. And I'm going to be able to take the set just by able to take this guy down. Okay, so looking back, I really only won that because of the overheat miss. I really didn't think how impactful it was, but I only won that because of the overheat miss. But I am going to go the same way. Yeah, I'm gonna go the same way. I feel like the game plan still is kind of the same. I did not bring Urshifu here, which I didn't feel comfortable bringing it. I was considering it, but like into a potential Mungus, I would just auto lose. I would just auto lose into a potential Mungus. Yeah, man, I'm actually still kind of mad about that first game because I played flawlessly until until I didn't. I really think I should have kept the Roaring Moon in. 153 was a good enough margin to where I probably could have lived. So I don't quite agree with that play from my end. I don't think I agree with it. The only thing would be is if I think he's going to Shadow Ball plus Dark Pulse. If I think he's going to Shadow Ball plus Dark Pulse, then I lose. If he overheated, yeah, if he went for overheat, or if he went for Shadow Ball. No, if he went for overheat or Dark Pulse, then it was bad. No, I'm trying to think what play that, in what world that would be right. I think he's going for overheat, so I switch into hands. which is not a good play. If he goes for Dark Pulse plus Shadow Ball into Roaring Moon goes down. I have full health Iron Hands in back. Golden Go just protected. My Golden Go is faster than his Golden Go. So I can go for a Shadow Ball. I can fake out the Chi-Yu. Chi-Yu protects. He goes into Iron Hands. I double the Iron Hands with Drain Punch plus Shadow Ball. I get rid of Iron Hands. But then what? No, I don't even get rid of Iron Hands. I do probably 50% to it. He can fake out my Iron Hands. He can go for Overheat. He can click Dark Pulse next turn, probably pick up the knockout on Golden Go. And then he has his Golden Go in back to pick up the game. And because his Golden Go is at such a health, or because his Golden Go is at such a large amount of health, then I probably lose. But in the situation in which he played it out, because he went for Snarl plus Shadow Ball, the play was to stay in and hope that I live. In the case that I lived, which I should have because my Roaring Moon set is bulky. I think I goofed. I think I goofed that set, to be honest. Maybe I did. I'm not so sure. No, that's not the Roaring Moon that I want. I want Roar XD. Alright, where is he? Yeah, I want this guy. Okay. In that case, damn. Yeah, in that case, Shadow Ball's doing a good amount because I'm Terra Poison. Shadow Ball's doing a lot of damage to me. I'm not seeing that 149. I'm seeing that 153. So I'm saying 84%. 84% Shadow Ball is going to be doing. Not as much with the Beads of Ruin active into Roaring Moon as I thought it would be. So it's only doing 50%. Then I get the knockoff. Okay, so if I were to hypothetically play out the turn, I stay in with Roaring Moon. He stays in with Chi-Yu Golden Go. He goes for Snarl. He goes for Shadow Ball. They do not pick up the Roaring Moon. I am not Booster Energy because Roaring Moon... I switched. I kept Roaring Moon in, so Roaring Moon outspeeds both, which means that knockoff is free into Golden Go. So I can knock off Golden Go. Let's say I knock off Golden Go, I KO Golden Go. Then he goes to Snarl. I'm sitting at around 60, sitting at around 50%. He goes Iron Hands. I have Golden Go and I have Roaring Moon on the field. He can either fake out plus Overheat or Wild Charge. And really the play is to Overheat plus Wild Charge. You do that, you're in a good position. So I let Golden go down. He goes to -2. I go for Breaking Swipe. Hands is at a decent bit of health. Hands is at full. I Breaking Swipe. It brings it down to 80. I am at around 30% on my... No, I'm around 20% on my Roaring Moon. Then Iron Hands comes in. Iron Hands comes in at around full into Chi-Yu. Into Iron Hands. I can either A, call the Chi-Yu Protect, go Tailwind, fake out. He does have access to Terra Ghost because he's not Terra'd at that point. Important to note. So what I do in that point is I always Tailwind plus fake out into the Iron Hands. Chi-Yu protects. Then next turn I can just Wild Charge and or does he not protect the Chi-Yu? Because you could, but there's no reason to, because now you're -2. No, you Dark Pulse me at that point because Dark Pulse will kill. So you Dark Pulse the Golden Go. Dark Pulse kills Golden Go, so you're still in neutral. Then I have Iron Hands and Iron Hands is going to take a lot from overheat, but I can drain punch some of it back. Iron Hands is still relatively at full. Iron Hands is going to go for Wild Charge into me, but I do win the speed tie, or I have Tailwind up. But at that point, I'm trying to think about the scenario. I think I might narrowly win or lose depending on the scenario, but I think Iron Hands will take too much damage in the process in order for me to win it. All right, I've calculated the scenario out, and I don't think I could have won that. Maybe I'm wrong, but I was baited out by good RNG, essentially. This match is going to be different. This match goes a little bit differently. How long I've been recording for? For 45 minutes for only one battle. That's insane. Damn. I analyzed the hell of shit. Okay. So we're going to go into the second game. So we see the Iron Hands, we see Salamence here. I lead the same thing because I'm pretty much forced to. I'm forced into this position. I feel like I definitely could have played game 1 better though. I'm not going to lie. Yeah, the more I'm thinking about it, the more I realize I definitely could have played game 1 better. But here I decide to mix it up. I believe I decide to Terra again turn 1. Now maybe I'll go for the same play. I think I go for the same play turn 1. Yeah, I Tailwind here. Cool. And I think I just go for Fake Out. Yeah, let's go for Fake Out. Realistically, what I should have done is I should have faked out Iron Hands here. We should have forced a double Tailwind. Then I should fake out Iron Hands because he gets up Tailwind, which is cool. Yeah, could have faked out. Yeah, well, fake out Salamence. But realistically, I should have faked out Iron Hands here because I'm going to Terra. I'm going to Terra Roaring Moon. It's going to become Poison type. I go for fake out Salamence. I'm hurt by Rocky Helmet. I definitely should have faked out the Iron Hands here, to be honest. Okay, so I go for Tailwind here. And Salamence flinches. Iron Hands calls the Terra, which, you know, is kind of easy to call. Goes for Wild Charge. So realistically, what I should have done that turn is I should have... I don't mean to do that. I protect here, and I switch out to Arcanine. Realistically here, how this turn should have played out is I should have faked out the Iron Hands, and I should have went for Tailwind. Or... yeah, I fake out Iron Hands, I go for Tailwind. Now, Salamence could have went for Draco Meteor because he wants to delay Tailwind. So, the reason I think Terra makes the most sense. So, I always Terra Poison and fake out the Iron Hands turn 1. That means I get up Tailwind. If he goes to Draco, I take damage, but I still have up Tailwind. I'm forcing the Salamence to Tailwind here. Salamence is going to take some chip, but Roaring Moon is going to be at a pretty low health at that point. But Iron Hands is going to be chipped here a little bit, too. But Iron Hands is still healthy, and it can finish off the Roaring Moon, so I could protect Roaring Moon the following turn. I'm not so sure. I'm not so sure how that would go down. I feel like, though, I definitely should have Terra'd and faked out the Iron Hands. I feel like that would have played out more beneficial for me. But we see he's going to call the Terra. So next turn here, I don't know what I lock into. I'm pretty sure, yeah, I don't lock into that, but I go for the Protect here, and I switch up to the Arcanine because I'm thinking, okay, I need to reposition. But unfortunately for me, it's not that I don't know if he necessarily calls it as much as he just does a good play. I think he does call it, though. He's going to withdraw Salamence. He's going to go into his Chi-Yu. So I thought I'll bring the Arcanine out. It's kind of nice here. But I protect the Salamence, and he just goes for a Drain Punch right into my Arcanine, which is really unfortunate for me because I've taken too much damage at this point for me to win the match. I don't have enough longevity in the team anymore. I feel like it's a pretty disadvantageous position for me to be in. I really feel like turn 1, I think the Wild Charge into Roaring Moon really put him in a good spot, so I feel like I should have faked out the Roaring Moon. Yeah, and unfortunately, I did not make a great play, and it cost me it cost me a lot, essentially. And I'm not feeling very confident here. I'm feeling like, okay, I probably lose, so I have to make an aggressive play. I feel like what's the Iron Hands thinking that Chi-Yu is going to protect. So it works out. I break and swipe and I Flare Blitz, which is nice. I'm able to get some damage off into Iron Hands. So that's cool. But Enrique is playing in a way where Arcanine, the Chi-Yu counter, is not having any he's not really doing much. Now, if I was crazy, I could have switched out Arcanine into the Golden Go, but then if I switch out Arcanine into Golden Go into the Drain Punch, then Chi-Yu in the next turn is just almost unstoppable. He can stall a Tailwind then. Arcanine, yeah. Oh. I really felt like I had very limited options, so it's really unfortunate. So I go Iron Hands here. I could have went Golden Go onto the Drain Punch if I really wanted to, because in the next turn I can launch off a Shadow Ball, or I could protect and launch off a Shadow Ball, but then that means that I don't have a lot of offensive pressure into Chi-Yu, so I needed a free switch in, and then I decided to double the Chi-Yu here, because I'm pretty sure Chi-Yu is probably going to switch out, and he does switch out into the Salamence. So realistically what I should have done was I should have Breaking Swipe, because now that the Iron Hands is at -1, even though it's at -1, with the Rocky Helmet chip, it's probably going to be enough to take out the Roaring Moon. So what I should have done is I should have Breaking Swipe, because that would have allowed me to live another turn. Although it does allow my Iron Hands to not take as much chip damage as it would have liked, or as maybe Enrique would have liked. I think overall, had a Roaring Moon lived the turn, it would have been really nice, because I would have had Tailwind up. I could have had a free Breaking Swipe here, or switch out into Golden Go. I think switch out to Golden Go is better, and then go for a Drain Punch into the Iron Hands, and then I'm able to bring in Roaring Moon back a little bit later to maybe... Well, no, I had to bring in Roaring Moon on a KO or a defensive pivot, but I think going for Breaking Swipe would have been a better play here. So Enrique's just calling all the turns right, and I'm really not in a good spot here. Mind you, this matchup is really bad, but I think there are definitely some plays I could have made to make the match a lot better for myself. But the Chi-Yu is such an issue. The Chi-Yu is such an issue for this team, and I thought I could play around it, but I just really can't. He's playing his Chi-Yu so safe that I'm really in a position where I can't take any KOs. I'm overanalyzing this match, but he keeps the Chi-Yu safe. I feel like making these videos made me realize that, like, while I played well, I did not play as well as I thought I did, and that's kind of a reality check for myself, in the sense that I feel like I definitely have a long way to go, because this match was far from perfect. Definitely were some mistakes made, so it's really nice to look over this match. Really helpful. So he's going to Drain Punch here into my Iron Hands. It's just kind of unfortunate for me. He does get the crit. It's just really unfortunate. Yeah, the crit actually probably matters in this match. The crit at least seals up the deal. I'm able to Shadow Ball, which is going to pick up the Salamence here. And I go for Drain Punch to get some recovery back. But at this point, the Drain Punch crit really mattered, because I would have been sitting at around, if he didn't crit me, I would have been sitting at around, let's see, I recovered to 96. I would have been sitting around 160 had he not crit me. And 160 is a lot better to be at than 96. Although I don't know if it would have mattered at this point, because my two of the Pokemon are KO, Chi-Yu in the back can just sweep the game. So at this point, the game's over. So the second Chi-Yu comes in, it's done. It's curtains. Yeah, Chi-Yu comes in, it doesn't matter, I lost. So now I'm thinking, how do I beat this? Because this team, Enrique is playing amazing, and it seems really a bad matchup for me, so I don't know how I could potentially win this. But then I realized something. Excuse me. He has not brought a Mungus yet. My one way to deal with Chi-Yu is to bring Urshifu. And Arcanine, his team composition means that I cannot bring Arcanine effectively into his team. It just won't function. It just won't work. He's playing so well to the point where Arcanine just does not do what Arcanine needs to do. Like that's simply put. Yeah. So I realized, oh shit, I need to change it up a little bit. So I go with a little bit of a different lead. I decide to lead the Arcanine because I want the Intimidate off immediately into the Iron Hands rather than relying on Breaking Swipe as my immediate damage output. I decided to bring Urshifu from the back, basically making a call that you're not bringing a Mungus. And if you do bring a Mungus, then I instantly lose. Like there's pretty much nothing I can do. If he brings a Mungus, I lose. I basically just, when I clicked on Urshifu, I accepted that fact. Which is why I didn't bring Urshifu in the first and second game. I feel like I should have brought in the second game, but I was thinking maybe because it was very close, maybe he would realize that I would adjust to Golden Go. And maybe I would adjust to Urshifu, he would bring Mungus. Because I was looking at the match, Golden Go was good for him, but it wasn't as impactful. So I figured that maybe, just maybe, he would bring a Mungus instead. But I think you need the Golden Go, so I think in hindsight I should have brought I should have brought Urshifu game 2. So that's another mistake I made. I really should have brought Urshifu game 2 as an adjustment. But it was really hard. It was a really hard call to make. But there are a lot of mistakes I made in this match for sure. I really thought this one was one of the best matches I played, and I still think it is. I still think I played absolutely incredible. But I definitely think there was a lot of room for improvement in a lot of different areas. I really feel like I could have played a lot of my pieces a bit more effectively. So I did decide to just break and swipe and switch out. I want to play more defensive here. I want to delay my tailwind a little bit. And then more importantly, I want to be able to get the damage off. Now I don't Terra this turn because I'm fearing a wild charge come out here. So he goes for fake out. Cool. She decides to make a fake out play. I go for breaking swipe. So I'm wondering if he's going to tailwind. Even at -1, that's still really good damage into the Salmons. It's doing quite a bit of damage. So I'm pretty happy with that. And we're going to see he goes for the tailwind here. I'm like, okay, this is kind of interesting. And I can't think properly, to be honest. So he goes for the tailwind. So he has tailwind up. So I could also, I'm pretty much forced to set up my tailwind. He can't really throw in a KO on me. Pretty much forced to go for tailwind. I have access to fake out here. trying to understand my thought process this match. Okay, I do Terra. I do go for knockoff because I'm predicting Salmas to either switch out or protect. I think Salmas is going to protect here. I think he's going to switch out. In hindsight, this was a bad play. I should have just went for breaking swipe plus drain punch if I really was calling to protect, because that covers all the options. Well, I was expecting the Golden Go switch, but I don't really understand why he was switching Golden Go here. So I don't think the play made sense. I really don't think the play made sense in hindsight, and I really think that I should have just went for breaking swipe and wild charge, or breaking swipe and drain punch if I was calling to protect. Now the more I thought about it, because my justification for predicting him to switch out is that he's -2, but his justification for not wanting to switch out is the fact that he doesn't have anything to switch out to, and he doesn't lose anything by staying in here. I should have recognized that fact, and I should have taken advantage of that, but instead I decided to make a cheeky little play, which definitely could have gone more in my favor, but hey. I do think I should have breaking swipe though. Breaking swipe plus drain punch would have been really good, really beneficial to me. Would have put Iron Hands at around half instead. Actually a little bit below half. Would have been more beneficial. Would have got more recovery off. Would have been a -1. So I think that's a misplay that I did. I definitely should have predicted him to stay in rather than him to switch out. Well, neither here nor there. I do have damage. Oh, she's tired. So now he's going to switch out Iron Hands here. He's going to switch in Chiyu. Okay, so this was a bit of a risky play from him because I really just was considering going for Drain Punch into the Iron Hands. But he does Draco. I decided to rightfully protect my Salmons. But realistically here, instead of going for Wild Charge, what I should have done is I should have Drain Punch the Iron Hands. There's not really a reason to Wild Charge the Salmons here. Silence isn't that threatening. The idea was that basically I can then... I don't know why I switched in Chiyu. If he knew I was going to protect Silence here, then if I Drain Punch the Chiyu, the game's over. So that's another mistake I made. I don't think Wild Charge into Silence is as beneficial. I'd rather just get damage off on the Iron Hands. Keep damage on the Iron Hands. Although... if I went for Drain Punch and Knockoff in that last turn, he wouldn't have switched in Chiyu. He would have switched in Golden Go here. For certain. If I Breaking Swipe plus Drain Punch, he would have switched in Golden Go. So the Chiyu bring is pretty aggressive, but it works out for him. I bring in my Arcanine here, which I can't think at this point, to be honest. Damn. I overanalyzed this match. But I really feel like I definitely could have played better at parts. Alright, but I protect Roaring Moon here. Basically, I want to sell Tailwind, and I figured he's just going to target into the Roaring Moon, although he overheats, and it does target down into the Arcanine, so he did make that call, unfortunately. So what I should have done is I should have if I predicted him to do that, then I should have went for Tailwind myself to have the speed control up. So that's another misplay I made. I feel like it wasn't a misplay necessarily, but it was a call that I should have made. The fact that I don't think you're going to be targeting down my Roaring Moon because you know that if Roaring Moon goes down, you lose the match in my eyes after that. If the Roaring Moon goes down, you lose the match. So he's definitely expecting me to protect Wormoon. So I should have predicted him expecting me to protect Wormoon there. Yeah, but he's going to withdraw Salamence here, which is kind of interesting. You know, just preserve it. He's going to bring in Iron Hands here. Okay, cool. So I'm just going to switch out my Arcanine here. And I'm going to go into my guy, my Urshifu. Let's go. So now I brought in Urshifu, so now he knows, oh shit, I adjusted. Chiyu goes for the protect, so now Chiyu's protected. I go for Tailwind here to get speed control. And here is pretty safe to start the fake out. I pretty much just protect, switch out to Iron Hand here, or to Arcanine. I think I go Arcanine, yeah. Excuse me. Realistically, I forget what play he goes for here, but I think I should have went my Urshifu, or my Iron Hands here. He's gonna go for fake out. Let's see what he goes for. He goes for overheat, and I miss again. So that was really important for me there. That miss was important. That's also why I didn't want to go Iron Hands, because I figured he might try to overheat me. So now I just Flare Blitz. I have a free Flare Blitz into this. Realistically, I think I should have switched out. I really think that he's going to bring in Salamence here. So if he brings in Salamence, I think I switch out Arcanine into my Iron Hands. This is a bad play on my part. I feel like, yeah, I feel like leaving in Arcanine was a bad play. I should have switched up to Iron Hands. Or what I should have done was I should have Surging Strikes the Chiyu slot, and I should have switched out to Salamence. Because we're going to see, bam, that goes down. I think you're going to Wild Charge into the Urshifu. But I really do believe that, let's say I went for Surging Strikes, I KO the Salamence here, then I have my own, I bring in my own Salamence. I'm in such a good spot. I bring in my own Iron Hands. I'm in such a good spot. I do take chip. I do get chip on the Iron Hands, but I feel like I would have preferred if I switched in my own Iron Hands. Depending on, like, how much health is my Iron Hands at? It's at 143. So if I switch it in, I conserve the Arcanine, which is very important late game. So I think I really should have conserved Arcanine late game. Giving me access to Iron Hands means that I pick a KO on something, and I get access to Fake Out, which is really nice the next turn. But he does have Golden Go, and the issue with Golden Go into the issue with Golden Go here is that he can go for Terra. So what I believe I do is I believe I just would go Breaking Swipe. So I don't agree with this play. I think I am -1 on Urshifu, so the Surging Strikes does make sense because Close Combat would have picked up the knockout. But realistically, okay, was there an ad? I don't know. Maybe ad blockers coming through. Realistically though, I think I should have Breaking Swiped plus Surging Strikes. That would have been the better play here. We're going to see him probably switch out Iron Hands into the Chiyu, which I understand. It makes sense why he would want to do that. Just switch out Iron Hands. He's going to go into the Chiyu. What health is Iron Hands at? Iron Hands is low. So I think what I should have done is I should have knocked off the Golden Go, and I should have went for Surging Strikes into the into the hand slot. Because I get knockoff damage off into the Golden Go. Right? Chiyu's dead. Iron Hands is out of the way. Golden Go is not that threatening. Make It Rain does pick up the KO on both though, which is really annoying here. So I think if I Surging Strikes into the Chiyu would have gone down. Knockoff into Gold is doing a lot of damage. Surging Strikes is not going to pick up the knockout. If I pick up the knockout on Chiyu, that changes the whole game. Make It Rain's gonna come out. It still would have killed Urshifu, but then it would have been his Golden Go at half, at -1, versus in his Iron Hands, where I can go my Iron Hands. I have the faster Fake Out, so I can Fake Out and I can protect. And yeah, that was a guaranteed win. And so yeah, I really don't think I played that one well, because what I should have done in hindsight was I should have went for Tailwind and Surging Strikes into the Iron Hands, because basically what it forces is, okay, hands dies, so you don't have fake out pressure. It forces, okay, if you go Chi-Yu to try to pick up the knockout, Chi-Yu dies. So if I Surging Strikes into you, I knock out hands. So wait, let's say Surging Strikes into you, knock out hands, and then he has Chi-Yu and back, and then I have Crit Mac and Golden and you. Then I can fake out Tailwind. Fake out Tailwind. I'm faster. Yeah, I can fake out. I can Tailwind. I'm faster than both. I can just go for a Drain Punch. Shadow Ball's not gonna do a lot because you're at -1. I always have a free Drain Punch with the Chi-Yu. I can keep on Drain Punching it for the knockout. I can keep on clicking Drain Punch. That was the guaranteed win. I choked here. So even though I thought I played this set well, I was bailed out by choking. Yeah, which is really funny because at the time I thought I played the set immaculately, and the more I'm looking back on it, the more I realize that I didn't even play that well, which is kind of fascinating to me personally, because when I was watching the set, I really thought that I did everything I could to win, but in reality, there's a very clear win con that I failed to identify, which ended up in me having to make a call. So right here, I Tailwind, and I Drain Punch into the Golden Go because I expected him to protect the Chi-Yu. So I get the KO off. He does not protect the Chi-Yu, very unfortunately. Really wish he would have, because it would have made this match a lot better. But he did not protect the Chi-Yu. He decides to go for Dark Pulse, I believe, into the Roaring Moon. Dark Pulse to pick up the damage on Roaring Moon. So now I have to make a call. He brings in his Iron Hands. He's just going to go click Fake Out Overheat. Fake Out Overheat. I Tailwinded last turn, which means there were 3 turns to Tailwind left on that turn. Cool. 3 turns. This is 2 turns left. You can fake out this on turn 2. 2 turns left to Tailwind here, I think. Well, it is dynamic, so effects right away. But I think no, you get four turns. So it's 4 turns to Tailwind. So it applies that turn. But that doesn't really matter. So this would be 3 turns here. You can fake out. No. Well, let me ask Showdown chat. Because it should be 4, but 4 would be because Tailwind's dynamic, it starts on the turn. Yeah, because Tailwind is dynamic, it starts on that turn. Right? Let's see, Tailwind, I asked in chat, for 4 turns, ally speed is double. So it gives you 4 turns, which means last turn I went for Tailwind, which it counted as a turn, which means here it is 3 turns. So we're at 3 turns now. So 3 turns to Tailwind left. So here, he's a free Fake Out plus Overheat, which he's going to go for, which then means it comes down to 2 turns. 2 turns left. I can either call the Chi-Yu, protect, go for the Drain Punch, and avoid it, because there's 2 turns to Tailwind left. Okay, so he's going to Fake Out Overheat. He does so. I'm at low. So now I have to call whether Chi-Yu protects, because there are 2 turns left of Tailwind. If I call the Chi-Yu protect here, then I target the Iron Hands. Which is what Enrique thinks I'm going to do. But what I do instead is I'm going to target the Chi-Yu with a Drain Punch, because at this point I realize that Enrique knows I'm a good player, and he's going to predict me to predict him to protect Chi-Yu. So I'm thinking that I'm going to Drain Punch his Iron Hands. But instead, I Drain Punch the Chi-Yu, predicting him to not predicting him to predict me to outpredict him. So I underpredicted him, essentially. And I'm able to go for the Drain Punch here. I'm hesitant. I go back and forth on it because this is the deciding turn of the game. Yeah, this is the deciding turn of the game. So I decide to Drain Punch here. And I do get it right. He does not protect Chi-Yu. Had I Drain Punch the Iron Hands that turn predicting the Chi-Yu protect, I would have lost, which is key. So going to Drain Punch the Chi-Yu. I'm able to get it out of the way, and at that point I win the match. So it was very close. He had to get a crit, but he Drain Punches me back, and it looks like for a second, with the amount of recovery, that he might live another one. But I was looking at it and I'm like, you know what? I don't think he does. And luckily, he does not. So I'm able to take the win there. But in what I thought going into this video was one of the best played games I've had, I still believe that. I still do. I still feel like I played very well. But what's interesting is that I did not identify 2 endgame win cons, which almost cost me the set. And it put me into nasty positions. So there was a lot I learned from this battle, especially even if you're in a high stress scenario like that, always asking yourself, what is the win con? Because what I really think decided game 3 was the final turn of me predicting, getting the correct prediction. Had I not, I would have lost. I feel like that would have been circumvented had I just gone for Surging Strikes into the Iron Hands, because that's free, and knock off into the gold. Had I done that, I get damage on gold. Yeah, I get damage on gold. I knock out the Chi-Yu. You're low. Iron Hands comes back in. Iron Hands is low. And at that point, my Iron Hands wins. I did not identify that, and that is the reason why I'm not extremely happy with it. Like, I feel like while I played well, there were a lot of mistakes that I made, and I feel like as a player, I'm getting better and better at realizing, but I'm realizing my mistakes, but I feel like I'm at the cusp of greatness. I feel I'm so close to being able to perfect the game. But this battle has taught me that I still have ways to go. But this battle was really nice because it provided me with a really good player in such a tough matchup. It provided, like, Enrique is such a good player, and it's such a tough matchup to where it forced me to play at my absolute best. But now I know, even when I'm playing at my absolute best, I do tend to make mistakes. So this has really been a good learning experience for me, looking at the match in which I thought I played flawlessly. But after some Kowalski analysis, I did not necessarily play flawlessly. And there were some huge misplays that ended up almost costing me the set. I feel like if I did not get lucky, I would have lost. So ultimately, I feel like I played well. And looking back over the match, it's still a really, really entertaining match to watch. And I still think it's one of the best play matches I've had. But I definitely think that overall, I feel that I could have positioned my pieces a little bit better. I could have identified my win cons better. I feel like I'm good at positioning, but I think late game, identifying the win con is the most important aspect that I was missing out on than I am now learning. And so it was a really beneficial match for that. I know this was a long video, but I hope you guys enjoyed my analysis. You can tell I'm tired. But yeah, if you did, smash the like button down below, subscribe, do all that, and I hope you guys enjoyed. Now, this was a pretty huge analysis video, but I just wanted to get it out there. I just wanted to see what you guys thought about it. And if you did enjoy, smash the like button down below, subscribe. I'll see you all later. Peace.